What's happening, YouTube? Dimitri here, bringing you live to video number 16. So today's video, sorry, I just gotta fix this one thing. Today's video is going to be on stretching and the importance of it. Now, there's two types of stretching. The first one is static stretching, and the second one is dynamic stretching. So, why stretching is important? If you're an athlete or if you're always tight, always pulling stuff, injuring yourself, it's a good way to avoid all of that. Period. It's like stress. People eat chocolate. I would think for stress, ignore my shirt to it. I'm just that ripped. Sorry, I went off topic. Or um, being stressed. Trying to figure the best example for this, but it is constant tension basically. And when you're stressed, it's difficult to get stuff done. And when your muscles have constant tension, it's hard for them to work properly. So just like when your mind is stressed, it can't work properly. So stretching is de-stressing the muscles basically. So there is the two kinds that I said. The first one I will talk about, and that is static stretching. Static simply means not moving. So your stretch is right here, no moving, and you just hold that position for about 30 to 60 seconds. The second one is dynamic stretching, and what that does is it is stretching, here's my finger, but slight movements. So you go down for a bit and you come up. Now, the two differences between them is static is constant stretch, so constant stretch of the muscle, and dynamic stretch is a little bit of stretch, release, then you go back and do the stretch again. The reason why there's the two differences in when to do them and when not to do them is dynamic is before workouts. So if you are a athlete or not even an athlete, but if you're going for a walk or anything, dynamic stretching is the best way. You do it for a few seconds, you come out of it. You do it for a few seconds, you come out of it. And then after the activity or whatever it is you do a static stretch. So you go into a stretch and you hold that stretch for 30 to 60 seconds, about twice. And if you're working and your back's always sore, you stretch your back. What you want to do is static stretching because it's always tight and it's tense. So, you're always sitting down on the chair. So you always want to do static stretching for that. It's dynamic is for before being active. Static is for being after active. And the reason is because the muscles, you want to activate the muscles. That's what the dynamic stretches are for, activating the muscles pretty much. And the static stretch is stretching them completely. So if you stretch them before any activity for 30 to 60, a static stretch, I'll just say to make it easier because now you know what that is, right? You learned something new, right? Or hopefully you did. That will take away about 5 to 10% of the energy from that muscle. So if you're a sprinter or a track athlete and you're stretching your quads and hamstrings or calves for more than 30 seconds, you lost 10% of power from that or 5% of power from that. That's a long time. Like that's a performance jump. That's a big performance jump. So that's why you want to save static for after activities. And it's because when you do it long, the elongation effect of the muscle. So it's tight and it just gets completely released and relaxed. So when you do your activity, there's no really tightening of it or recoil effect of it, which is kind of funny. Like, wait, how does that make sense? But for any activity if you're doing sports, you want to have a little bit of tightness so you can be explosive, powerful. For your spike for volleyball, for sprinting, for running, wrestling, for picking up the guy, you have so much power for that. So that's why you want to do the dynamic stuff first, because it keeps the tightness, but it actually helps loosen the muscle up a little bit, and it gets it ready for the activity, and it doesn't cramp up as bad or at all. Period. Actually, so if you're ever doing an activity and you're tight, do dynamic stretching before, static stretching after. Dynamic can be, just as an example, 2-second hold, come off, do it for about 15 seconds, or sorry, 15 times. You can also do it for a 5-second hold, come off. Anything over 30 seconds to a minute will be considered a static stretch. So you do not want to do that before an activity. After an activity is fine. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video on why you should stretch. It's great for you. I do it. Keeps me decently healthy. If you're not doing it in your day, you should try it. It's gonna be great for you. It's awesome. You'll feel much better about yourself. Your muscles will be happier. They won't be tensioned up. And what's better than a happy muscle, right? Not much. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So peace out, YouTube.